One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Does it work? Because that's really what you want to know by watching this video, isn't it? You want to know whether you can stick that CD in your console, or you want to know whether you can load up Origin and Battlelog, jump into a game of Battlefield 4 now, and the game work as intended. For the last 11 months we've been putting up with a lot of different things with Battlefield 4, whether it be netcode, gameplay issues, weapon issues, statistics issues, whatever it might be, it's had a lot of problems. But I'm happy to report that this patch has come through successfully and has drastically changed Battlefield 4, and for the better. Now before I go on, I do want to say that I'm going to be giving a balanced argument for this patch. I'm not just going to be talking about all the good things, there are a few niggles that I've noticed as well. Some things that may have crept in there, things that didn't quite get fixed, or maybe just unintentional bugs that are still in this patch. I'll detail those at the end of the video, but first of all, I want to talk about just how amazing Battlefield 4 now feels in comparison to what it did 48 hours ago. First up is movement. My god, your soldier feels so much better. It's as if he's been put on a diet, he's just come off, lost about 10 stone. He can move around now, he can actually jump, it feels like you're responding to those sort of key presses or controller movements. Overall, the responsiveness of the player, moving the weapon up to aiming down sight position, all those different types of movements do feel so much better now. Adding into the soldier movement, we of course have the weapon changes, that's the damage model and the recoil changes and the overall general gameplay in Battlefield 4 between players when you're having a gunfight now feels solid. It feels like when I go into the gunfight, I actually know going into it if I stand a chance of winning it or not. Whereas before, 48 hours ago, I didn't quite know if I was going to go in, if my bullets were going to go where I thought they were going to go, and I was going to get the kill. Now if I go in with my weapon sort of with half ammunition left in the magazine and I get a lucky kill, that's great. I might have got the jump on the guy, but I feel like I deserve the kills that I'm getting now, and they're not just sort of random moments of variability where if it's me that gets the kill or if it's the other player that gets the kill, then it's not really down to the skill level of the player. That's how it feels now. It feels like the better player is actually winning these gunfights. You may notice, and for those of you that haven't played the CTE version of the game, I'm quite used to this now, but you may notice that the weapons look like they have absolutely no recoil whatsoever with just the red dot sights, and I'd have to agree that they are very, very low recoil weapons now. At least it looks that way, because they're now representing the true recoil values of the weapons. So what you're seeing right now is what the recoil of the weapons has always been, but with the visual element removed. What DICE Stockholm did is to sort of add a layer of immersion to the game, is they added extra recoil on top of where the bullets would normally go to make it look like the gun was jumping round more on the screen. Now overall that might look great in terms of graphical capabilities, but in gameplay sense it didn't really make any sense because your bullets just sort of went where you weren't expecting them to go. And if it looks like there's not a lot of recoil on your weapon anymore, then that's totally normal. I found that using sort of scopes that are a little bit more long range now, like the 4x optics, as you can see in the gameplay, I've fallen in love with the ACOG sight here. It's so much fun to use now because there isn't that massive amount of recoil on the screen. My bullets are going where the crosshairs are aiming, which makes it really nice to use those longer range sights, and it just changes up gameplay a bit. I can now use things that I couldn't really use before, and it's making a really nice gameplay experience. Next up, the grenade changes. I specifically chose Operation Locker for this video because I wanted to see just how much of a difference DICE LA have made to the grenade tactics in this game, and they have made a massive difference. They've reduced the amount of grenades you can actually hold, they've increased the time it takes for you to sort of reload a grenade back into its slot after you've thrown it if you're standing next to an ammo pack, and that has dramatically reduced the amount of grenade spam on infantry-centric maps like Operation Locker. It sort of fits in with Operation Metro as well. A lot of the TDM and domination maps, there's not a huge amount of grenade spam. Yes, you get the odd grenade, you get killed by them every once in a while, but that's how it's supposed to be. You throw a grenade, you're trying to clear people out of that area, you might get a lucky kill or two, but then once they run out, you shoot them with your primary weapon. That's basically what a grenade is meant to do. And it's implemented that way now. It kind of feels like when you throw a grenade, you're throwing it in tactically, you're not just spamming it to try and get kills. Overall as well, that's reduced the screen shake on the screen, which means you're not sort of wobbling all over the place when you're trying to shoot somebody, and that adds so much into the gameplay experience. Honestly, if you haven't tried this yet, if you've been holding off from playing Battlefield 4 for like the last 3 or 4 months, and trust me, I wouldn't blame you, then definitely now is the time to go and give these changes a go, because I think you'll find that you'll really enjoy the game and you won't get as frustrated as you did before. There are so many other things that I can talk about, but ultimately, those are the things that I've noticed so far. It's basically smoother gameplay, smoother player movement, more reliable and more sort of predictable gunfights. The fact that I know where my bullets are going is really great. It means I can be confident when I'm going into a gunfight. And considering that most Battlefield players out there will go into an infantry fight every single game, then those are probably the biggest changes for me overall. Just a couple of other things. There have been a few changes with weapons. All of them now, well, most of them anyway, do 1 hit point less damage per bullet, which means you need to shoot people more times to actually get the kill, which makes the time to kill longer, but gives the player you're shooting at a little bit more time to try and get out of the line of fire. And I think that's really good because we know how quick you can die in Battlefield 4. And the suppressors. The bullet velocity reduction for each weapon has slightly been tweaked. There were a few weapons that dropped their bullet velocity down so far that I could throw a tennis ball faster than the bullets were going across the screen. That's now been fixed, so the weapons that do have a silencer on them have had their bullet velocity increased a little bit so it doesn't take so long for the bullets to reach their target. So those are most of the good things that I've noticed so far, and I'm really enjoying the game. It feels amazing now. It feels very similar to Battlefield 3, which I really like. But there are a few things that I'm going to have to point out that probably weren't good changes or are still bugs within the game and things like that. A lot of people have been saying to me that they're getting stuck throwing medic kits and ammo boxes and all that kind of stuff. I haven't really encountered that myself, but the amount of people that have been telling me that that's been what's happening, then I'm a little bit concerned there. Fortunately, I can't reproduce it, but there we go. The amount of kill trades is higher than it's ever been before. I don't know if you remember the Dragon's Teeth patch, but I'm not sure what really happened there, but they introduced a load of kill trading. It's probably got something to do with the statistics of each weapon, but kill trades are now more common than they were before. I can put up with them because most of the time they just happen in obscure ways, where I've already finished killing somebody and then I'll die about half a second afterwards. So maybe it's a latency issue. Maybe the netcode still hasn't been 100% fixed, and let's face it, it's never going to be 100% spot on with the Frostbite engine. But yeah, the kill trades have gone up a little bit. And I have noticed some lag on the servers. It tends to happen towards the end of the game before the music kicks in when you've got about 20 tickets left to go on Conquest. I noticed that as the game sort of comes to an end, the server starts to, I don't know, ramp up a little bit in terms of latency, and you can get some weird glitching effects. And I spoke to Tigger yesterday. He seems to think it might be just server load where lots of people are trying to get on, or if there's a large queue for the server. But overall, he says he's going to monitor it just so that they can make sure that there's nothing sort of untoward going on back there. But overall, I have noticed a little bit of lag. It only happens for maybe 5 or 6 seconds, and if you're not in a gunfight, then I guess it's not that much of a problem. But if you are standing 5 feet from an enemy and you start to lag, or the whole server lags, then I guess that could be a bit of a problem. But yes, overall, Battlefield 4 is now playable, it now works, and it's fun. In my opinion anyway. You guys might have a different opinion, so I want to hear that. Let me know down below today, guys. All of these comments will probably be fed back to the DICE LA team. I'm going to send them this video so that any of your feedback can go to them, whether it be good, bad, in the middle, you've got more suggestions that you want to throw at them, then all of those comments will be passed on to the DICE LA dev team. But thank you very much for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you are playing Battlefield 4 today, I hope you enjoy your brand new experience. It's been a long time coming. I think just over 11 months for this patch to arrive. But finally, we seem to have a working game. But as I say, thank you very much for watching. Leave a rating and a comment down below. But until next time, my name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.